is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Masisi launches his honor the Vice President Tsohwane as BDP parliamentary candidate for Buteti West. The international community has been called to come up with collaborative solutions on HIV prevention.
And in sports, a newly elected BFA president urged to bring back the glory of local football.
Interpreting in sign language is Amantle Babili. Good evening. President Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, who's also the leader of the Botswana Democratic Party, has appealed to Buteti West electorates to vote for Mr. Slamba Tsohwane in the upcoming general elections to be held next month on the 30th. President Masisi was speaking when launching the Vice President, Mr. Tsohwane, who's also the chairperson of the BDP, as a prospective candidate for Buteti West constituency.
The race for the upcoming general elections continues as the leader of the BDP, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, launched their candidate for the Buteti West constituency, who is also the vice president and the chairman of the BDP, Mr. Slamba Tsohwane. Dr. Masisi applauded Mr. Tsohwane for the good job he did for the country and for his constituency in his 5-year term, appealing to residents to vote for him again in this year's general elections. He added that BDP has devised programs aimed at improving people's lives.
Una le motlhala wa go buella batho, una le motlhala wa go dira le batho, rona le Rre Tsohwane re le bopela mananeo a botshelo, re lebile mongwe le mongwe ka tokollo ya gagwe ya e kgona, re bopa mananeo a ka pelo tsa rona tsotlhe, re le phuthela madi a otlhe a re ka kgonang. Ibile re meta matiri le batela mangwe
re hano re le domo kuraga re rula ba nthopa wa rona ile mothusa taotona wa rona ka gore thwahetse re batla go lo supetsa gore re ikaelela go tswela ka go busa jaaka lo ntse lo re tshepile re tsewa go di batla gore lo tlhalosetse gore re ntse lo ka re tshepa go ya go pila a jaaka donkra.
Mr. Tsohwane accepted his candidacy and promised to continue supporting his party to fulfill its promises to Botswana.
Taotona o re rumile o sala re rumile maloba go Gaborone le gompieno o re rumile gore re go rekisa mananeo a tselang a ikanyegang a bua maruri a ka thusang Batswana ra go tswelela re tshedisa Batswana ka gore ke maikaelelo a rona ke maitamo a rona Como constitution ya rona ya 1966 gore ra go lwantsha lehuma ra go lwantsha lethoko la ditiro
mathata a metsi ka boeteledipele jwa mothusa taotona ka boeteledipele jwa mo parlamente wa rona la bona mathata ao e tla re pele ga kgwedi ya October e wela seemo sa metsi mo kgaolong ye sa be sa raraboloso.
During the launch, the BDP also welcomed new members into the party. Sebastian Tebogo, BTV News, Ray Corps.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry for State, President Ms. Khuitsama Morekisi, has advised attendees at the International HIV Prevention Outcome Monitoring Workshop to follow the Global HIV Prevention Roadmap, which provides guidance to all countries on how to achieve reductions in HIV incidences in line with targets set out by the United Nations Political Declaration on HIV and AIDS. She further said the Global HIV Prevention Coalition is now holding countries with high new HIV infections accountable for their inadequate efforts in HIV prevention. She further said the international community should come up with collaborative solutions on HIV prevention now that resources for addressing the epidemic are becoming scarce. In addition, Ms. Morekisi said she hopes participants will come up with new HIV prevention measures that will deliver the global goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. The Permanent Secretary told attendees at told attendees that Botswana has made progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS by exceeding the United Nations program of HIV/AIDS 95/95 target, which calls for people living with HIV to be aware of their status and subsequently enroll on the antiretroviral therapy to suppress their viral load. In other news, Okavango District Council recently celebrated projects that were successfully implemented in the 2019 to 2024 planning period. Council Secretary Ms. Iris Sitayelo says the implemented projects have helped the district to close some developmental gaps, thus beneficial to the community at large. Tiny Sukudu.
Ms. Sitayelo cited that although Okavango settlements are not easily accessible due to challenging terrain, out of 113 projects implemented, 110 were completed with 3 projects still ongoing. The completion of these projects is expected to increase employee morale and also address the infrastructural development gaps in the district.
For RADP, ne rana le di program tse ne ra di dira metse ya rona yotlhe ya mo kgaolong go tsenga 2019 re ne rena le project tseo tse ne ra di dira ra di wetsa.
We had 27 projects which were implemented and completed within the RADP programs in the villages in the district. From 2019, we were allocated 50 houses and were all completed. 2020, we were given 43, which we also built and completed.
50 ra ga ra hetsa ka 2020 ra hiwa 43 lo one ra ga a helela.
Okavango district was funded with a total amount of 31,846,103 to construct 88 houses under remote area program and 224 houses under destitute housing program, which the district managed to complete and over to the needy, thereby restoring their dignity and social livelihoods.
Okavango Council has been applauded for its good work production. When I officially started the Kajaja Primary, we were using old Potter cabins, and Okavango District Council built 6 houses for us through the CCP program and built the school, which now boasts of acquiring 100% pass rate and is recognized among the top 10 in the country.
It's 100%. Top 10 Kajaja.
We have few projects that are supposed to be implemented, but we are hopeful that they will be implemented as they are in our National Development Plan 12 and DDP 9. We applaud the government for such. The remaining projects which are still ongoing include refurbishment of Tsangwa hostels, paving of the 400 meters access road at Kaucha, among others. Tiny Chukudu, BTV News, Gumare.
The Hukunzi Deputy District Commissioner, Mr. Edson Malebane, says for cases of gender-based violence to end, the public has to deal with its root causes. He was speaking at a workshop organized by Botswana Police Service, which brought together stakeholders to sensitize them on actions they could take to end GBV. No Mudunga has more.
Malebane says this workshop came at the right time where cases of gender-based violence are concerned in the Kgalagadi North region. He further shared that they are worried of victims who report GBV cases and later withdraw them. Mr. Malebane urged these attendees to take this workshop serious as they are being equipped not only to know about gender-based violence but to be able to add their voice against these acts.
We are reporting cases if
we report cases and later withdraw them, that means we are fighting a losing battle. Another way of fighting this is by ensuring that policies are being implemented.
kopang dithuso mo go ba ba maleba.
I urge victims to seek help well on time from the relevant authorities rather than taking decisions that will cause negative effects on the nation at large.
Kgato e tla helelang e baka kutlo botlhoko mo bosading e baka kutlo botlhoko mo setšhabeng sa lehatshe ka kakaretso.
During this workshop, it was illustrated that gender-based violence affects both men and women, but statistics show that women suffer the most, mostly at the hands of their partners or relatives.
This workshop aims to raise awareness, build capacity, and strengthen the skills of participants in addressing issues related to the safety, well-being, and rights of children and individuals affected by GBV. GBV ke ra yone gender-based violence. It will enhance understanding and response strategies as far as GBV and child protection is concerned.
Go botlhokwa gore re make sure gore ngwana o tshela botshelo jo bo decent. A ile gore go bohelelong ke ta iphithela ke go gela kwa ke le mabuipelego. Motsadi ena a go gela kwa.
I urge you all to make sure that children live a decent and desirable life. Let's work together as parents and different stakeholders. Amongst the cases which were reported between this year and last year, it has been cited that 11 cases of defilement were registered last year, and this year again 11 cases have been recorded, whereas 15 cases of assault common were registered in 2023 compared to 12 cases this year. Neo Moduma, BTV News, Kang.
Former Member of Parliament for Shashi West, Mr. Fidelis Molao, has applauded Dingwezi Association for their efforts in enlightening married women about the culture of marriage. He was speaking at the official launch of the association in Matangwani on Saturday. Kiribonye Legalake has the details.
Mr. Malao has hailed women as the pillars of every home. Therefore, equipping them with the necessary skills to run healthy families could help in restoring the dignity and reputation of marriage as an institution. There are many challenges in marriage, but the teachings from this association can help in uplifting the reputation of marriage. We applaud you for this association, and it is important that we reflect on these meetings and find the information useful in our lives.
Me go sena sepe seo ka ga dimang ko morago gore gone mme ka mano ya me le mokgatho e mpusetsa eng.
Dingwezi Association was officially registered and commissioned in 2015. The association's president, Ms. Grace Silva, says it was essentially established to advance the ever-declining value of marriage through upskilling and enlightenment of newly wedded women.
Ha o kwadisiwa go molaong wa simola mo motseng wa Tamasane mme go tswa gone ho wa ralla le hatshe le lotlhe mo setse re na le di branch di heta 300 mo le hatshe la Botswana re na le maloko a heta 3000 mo le hatshe la Botswana.
This association was initially launched at Tamasane village, then it spread across Botswana. We have 300 branches in Botswana and others in SADC. This is an association for all that teaches women about the culture of marriage.
Dingwezi Association ba gaetso re bua thata ka nyalo le kago ya lelwapa ke mokgatho o eleng goreng o ruta mogolo ngwana le mosha gore ba kgone gore ba tswelle mo go one.
Re ruta bomme kgotsa basadi ba ba godisang bana ba le nosi gore ba ka godisa bana ka tsela e ntseng jang re thusanya le bone.
We educate women on single parenting and also assist single women. We don't choose, we accommodate all women.
Le bone bomme ba ba sa nyalwang ra ba thusa ha tla go gona ra mo thusa ga se gore ha e sengwetsi ga re ka ke ra mo thusa re thusa mongwe le mongwe.
This association seeks to induct and educate newly wedded women about building healthy and robust homes upon God as their foundation. Ke Dibonyi Lekalake, BTV News, Matangwane.
This is BTV News at 9 o'clock. The Healthy Families Foundation Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Phesi Thaba, says the nationwide campaign is aimed at addressing various family issues like family relations, race in children, financial issues, gender equality, and alcohol and drug abuse. He says they have identified that the campaign has had a positive impact on building healthy families. Mr. Thaba made the remarks at the closing ceremony of the Healthy Families Foundation's 9th family building campaign in Maung.
Mr. Phesi Thaba shared that there is a curriculum they use to deliver lessons on family building using a teaching strategy called Training of Trainers, and that the 9th family building campaign held in Maung targeted 3,000 people. However, the campaign in Mau exceeded their expectations as they managed to enroll over 3,700 people, and out of that number, close to 1,500 are youth. In estimation, the foundation has reached about 23,700 people countrywide.
Tota nale me Ashley Thaba re dumela thata gore re biditswe ke modimo go dira tiro ya go aga malapa.
Mrs. Ashley Thaba and I believe that it is God's calling for us to do this work of building families in Botswana. We are not saying we are experts in family issues, but still we are determined to share our experiences, our achievements and failures, and how we go about them. We also talk about issues that are usually swept under the carpet or overlooked. We believe that in order to build a strong, healthy nation, it has to start at the roots, which is families.
You have
heard the word and you have embraced it and now teaching others. You are multiplying. Whatever seed we have planted will continue to multiply.
This campaign was held at the invitation of Kgosi Tawana as a way to tackle social issues in Maung.
As
traditional leaders, we are very much hands-on in addressing social issues like the ones addressed in this campaign. We should also pay more attention to issues affecting the elderly, as we can see that in our communities, most elderly people are not given proper care. They have to be considered in the vulnerable group of people. We should really pull up our socks when it comes to family well-being.
Well-being
When I started taking the lessons on family building on the 26th August, I experienced transformation on how I have been perceiving things. Hence, I also changed the way I have been handling some things in my family. Mr. Phesi Thaba assured that when families are strengthened, the nation at large is strengthened and gains better understanding of itself. BTV News, Maung.
The Mercy Hand Foundation has donated 44 pairs of school shoes, stationery and sanitary towels to underprivileged learners at Ditshwane Primary School. The organization's director, Mr. Kabelo Rambe, highlighted that the donations are part of their efforts to restore the dignity of the learners and equity promotion. Lizzie Class.
Ditshwane Primary is one of the schools in remote areas faced by challenges of poor academic performance due to scarcity of learning resources. Therefore, the donation of such kind is recognized as a turnaround in the school, as now onwards there will be availability of resources which will help in boosting the school performance and also restore the integrity of less privileged students.
The works of mercy are usually shown by meeting the needs, physical and material needs of others, especially the less privileged. Because if they cannot provide for themselves, somebody through the mercy, through compassion, must be moved to take care of their needs.
We are here only to spread love. The love that we came here to spread is to clothe the less privileged, is to bless them, is to love them. We are doing this because the kids must be the same. When they go to school, they must look the same.
Today we celebrate the spirit of generosity and community. Your support enables us to continue our work and make a difference in the lives of those we serve.
This gesture brought jubilation to the school, and those who received donations were encouraged to take good care of them. These gifts should be well taken care of. We don't want to see students coming to school barefooted once again. For them to last long, they have to be well taken care of. The charitable foundations were encouraged to adopt schools so as to become their source of help, more especially those in remote areas. Lizzie Kless, BTV News, Ditshwane.
In international news, it is reported that the U.S. presidential candidate and former President Donald Trump survived yet another assassination attempt. The incident happened on Sunday at his golf course in Florida. Officials confirmed that the suspect for the attempted assassination has been apprehended.
This incident marks the second attempt to take Trump's life in 2 months after he was shot in the ear during one of his rallies. The incident was caught on live television. Secret Service agents fired at the suspect, who fled the area and was later arrested. Local authorities said the suspect left behind an AK-47 style rifle, a GoPro camera, and 2 backpacks. Authorities confirmed Donald Trump left the scene unharmed.
Former President Donald Trump is safe and unharmed.
Local sheriff narrates the incident.
The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off.
Shortly after the incident, Trump thanked everyone for their concern and even applauded the Secret Service in what he called an outstanding job. U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala criticized the incident and said they were taking all necessary measures to ensure Trump's safety. Launela Hwale, BTV News.
Up next is the latest in sport with Jose Hongwe.
Let me thank you, Khomutso, and this is Hosongwe bringing to you Botswana Tonight Sports News. And with that, let's get straight into it and start with the top story. Minister of Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture, Mr. Tumiso Rakhari, has pleaded with the newly elected Botswana Football Association President, Wabile Babitseng, to bring back the glory to local football. The minister made the remarks this afternoon when officially welcoming the new president following his appointment over the weekend in an annual elective General Assembly held in Palape. Tapolo Banda has more.
Babitseng, who was elected the new BFA president after the former president Matlini Chiti pulled out of the race during the election process, was asked to work hard to produce results in his tenure at BFA.
Mr. President, the very first thing that you must do is BFA. The CEO will assist you. We want you to start on a clean slate. We don't want to
We want you to start on a clean slate. That's why we advise you to liaise with your CEO and other stakeholders at the BFA to look back at the past and swiftly move forward. Football has united us in so many ways and will always continue to unite us. I therefore welcome you, Mr. President.
Now, and once again, congratulations, Mr. President, and all the best.
The former vice president at the BFA has also assured the minister and the public of his honest payout.
And say part of the manifesto which has been received by my National Executive Committee, key to it was to bring back football lovers. The unity that we spoke about, it is the beginning. The football fraternity elected myself and my executive to lead football for 4 years. They believe in exactly what we said, and I think the tone has been set, Minister. We are going to take football to greater heights.
We must appreciate that you affiliated to BNEC, COSAFA, CAF, FIFA. When we look ahead, we must realize that it is very important that our footprint at COSAFA and CAF and ultimately FIFA must be recognized.
Mabitsang is expected to spearhead the BFA for the next 4 years and will be working with his new executive committee. Thapelo Panda, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now into tennis news. A local tennis player, Ikwa Yori, who is based in the United States of America at the University of San Antonio, continues to shine overseas as she competed at the Jake Frederick Memorial Islander Women's Open Tennis Tournament over the weekend. Individually, she won the singles A, beating Texas A&M Kingsville Luna Djokanovic by 6-2, 6-4, Corpus Christi's Leticia Taroko 6-4, 6-2, and teammate Babenko 6-4, 6-3. Yori further emerged victorious in the doubles alongside Arina Babenko, winning the Jag Frederick Open Doubles A draw with a 7-5 victory over Corpus Christi's Ksenia Romanovskaya and Liana Maktan.
Ekua started the season very, very well at the University of San Antonio. She just won her first fall singles tournament and the doubles tournament. Ekwe has been doing really good this year. She has got herself some ITF professional rankings, and our plan is that we support her fully to make sure that she qualifies for the Los Angeles 28 Olympics, and she also can continue doing well in our national team, as we saw that she played really well for our women's national team at the Billie Jean Cup this year in Kenya. This coming week, we'll be sending about 3 coaches to the ITF Regional Coaches Conference in Cape Town. They'll go there to go and enrich themselves and empower themselves and learn about the latest coaching techniques. The 3 coaches that we're sending are basically based around the country. One is from Maung, where he's also part of the BTA working with schools. One is based in Moeng as a teacher there, but also as a tennis coach there. And then the other one is a lady based at the National Tennis Center. That will be part of a coaches conference, which would have attracted the best coaches around the world to go and share knowledge about the latest coaching trends.
And in the ongoing Botswana Volleyball League, Kutlano men registered their 5th win after defeating Nyaro's Volleyball Club by 3-1 in a Week 6 game played at SSKB and Mogoditsane. Katla Khakule has more details.
Kutlano, who are 4th in the log standings with 17 points, went into that game looking a better side in the high-tempo first set and slightly won it 25-23. In the second set, Kutlano, or Big House as affectionately known in volleyball circles, continued with their good display to claim the second set with the same scoreline of 25-23. Big House thought they would wrap up the game in the third set, but Yaro surprised them by capitalizing on their service errors and won that set 25-23 to take the game to the 4th set. Kutlano managed to regroup in the 4th set, taking more to Yaros, who failed to block Kutlano's attacks and managed to win that set 25-21 to register their 5th win in the league with a 3-1 victory.
How can game ya Kutlano ne re restiste our players ba tshamekang 4, our main attackers ba 4, Skara le Motax ba restile ga ba ata gone. So bona gore ne re tshameka ka bo mane, re tshameka ka di reserve, ne re tshameka ka mabero mo ile gore gona le sengwe se ile gore tactically we are working on it. So mo nakong ya gompieko matho a rona ga a leba mo likinye a lebile mo zone 6 ile gore yeta.
I'm impressed ka re tshameka ka teng. looking at that we have a lot of challenges. Most of our players are based more abroad. But looking at how we performed today, part of it was a place in so I was able to utilize 2 hours was slot sa game ya rona le dikwela because ne ba so very nana kwa gore very train ka yone. First time re did a number ya 9 players for training, so it worked for us from what we did yesterday.
In other week 6 men's results, BDF 6 defeated Prisons 3-0. Spiking Stars edged out Max Timela 3-2, while Itekem beat Blockbusters 3-1. In the ladies' side, Spiking Stars defeated Max Timela 3-0. Mafulufulu beat Dynamites 3-0. BDF 6 edged out Spiking Stars 3-0, while Dynamites registered their second loss of the day after being beat 3-1 by Max Timela. The log leaders, Police 6, walloped the Aros Volleyball Club 3-0. Katlaho Kakule, BTV Sport, SSKB Mohoditani.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk at this hour. Until we meet tomorrow, have a blessed night. And now let's take a look at the headlines with Khomuso.
The leader of the BDP, President Masisi, this weekend launched his honor the Vice President Tsohwane as BDP prospective parliamentary candidate for Boteti West. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry for State, President Ms. Morekisi, has called on the international community to come up with collaborative solutions on HIV prevention.
And in sports, a newly elected BFA President Tarik Babitseng has been urged by Minister Rakhare to bring back the glory of local football.
That is all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. Interpreting in sign language was Amantle Babili. Up next is the weather update.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Kumo Saselmanak. A few drops of rainfall were recorded this morning at 8 at Sekele and Kwenasarato CJSS. This evening, clouds are visible over much of our country. There's a possibility of isolated thunder showers over some areas of Khansi Khalagad, southern Southeast Khatling and Kwenen district. On Tuesday, we're expecting some isolated thunder showers over some areas of Khalagad, southern Southeast Khatling and Kwenen district. Cloudy conditions are expected over Khansi district, with partly cloudy conditions expected over Ngamiland and Central district. Few patches of clouds are expected to be visible over Northeast and Chobe district. There's a possibility of fresh or strong winds over much of our country. The public is advised to take necessary precautions. In the morning, we're expecting some mild temperatures over Kalahari, southern Southeast Khatling and Kwenen district. Over Chobe, Khansi, southern Central and Northeast, we're expecting some warm temperatures. And over the remaining areas, we're expecting some hot temperatures. In the afternoon, we're expecting some warm temperatures over Kalahari district. Over Khansi, southern Southeast Khatling and Kwenen district, we're expecting some hot afternoon temperatures, with maximums ranging between 33 to 35 degrees Celsius. And over the remaining areas, we're expecting some very hot afternoon temperatures, with maximums ranging between 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. The public is advised to take necessary precautions. Now, looking at the fire bulletin, is showing some active wildfires over some areas of Ngamiland, Khansi, Kalahadi, and Kwenen district. The public is advised to handle fire with care. Now, on Thursday, over southern Southeast Khatling and Kwenen district, we're expecting few patches of clouds to be visible with hot afternoon temperatures. Over Khansi district, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions on Thursday with hot afternoon temperatures. And over Kalahadi district, we're expecting few patches of clouds to be visible on Thursday with warm afternoon temperatures. Over Chobe and Ngamiland, we're expecting clouds to be visible on Wednesday and Thursday with very hot afternoon temperatures. And over Central and Northeast, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions on Thursday with very hot afternoon temperatures. That's the weather forecast. Have yourself a good evening.
Hey.